What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news, and before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up, and if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. Now, highlights for this video. We gotta talk about a ton, and I mean a ton, of Air Jordan release dates for 2025. Probably see some of them in the thumbnail. Again, I'm going to go over a lot in this video. Also, you might have seen online about this big Nike restock that's going to bring back a lot of shoes that have already sold out, including the Nike SB Air Jordan 4, the Lost and Found Air Jordan 1, and so many more. Now, I'm going to talk about what the truth is about this restock and why a lot of people online that have a following has misled their audience and maybe you as well. But I'll talk about that later on in the video. As well, I'm going to go over multiple releases from Nike. And now, without wasting too much more of your time, let's jump into the news. It's kind of crazy that we're seeing official photos of the Nike KD for Christmas just because they are expected to debut in December, which of course makes sense, but we have the photos, they recently leaked, which of course gives us our best look yet. Now, this pair originally dropped in 2011, and they will be returning for the holiday 2024 season. Now, the pair features a metallic copper and black color combination, and overall, the look doesn't really resemble Christmas, at least not in the traditional way. But on the insoles, which are red, we have KD's logo and then a lightning bolt, all that are made out of cookies. So we don't have a specific release date, but the pair is expected to return in December, and the retail price will be $130. We're going to have a few shoes from Devin Booker in this video, and outside of his signature line, he has an upcoming Nike Blazer Low dropping, and this pair will feature Team Dark Green. Now, there's a second pair that we don't have a photo of that's also expected to release, which comes dressed in Surf Blue. Now, the specific colorway on this pair is Team Dark Green, Cell, and Gum Yellow. Now, it's not the best images, but you can see that the shoes feature a green hairy suede on the upper, and then we have white on the swoosh logos. It also outlines the chevron logo on the tongue and the heel overlay. Lastly, a gum midsole, and I'm going to guess a matching rubber outsole completes the look. Now, from these photos, you don't see any specific branding of Devin Booker, but it could be on the heels or even the insoles. Now, we don't have a specific release date, but summer 2025 is when they're expected to drop, and the retail price will be $100. Now, we also have a couple of his signature shoes dropping in 2025. It's going to be a long run for the Nike Book 1, and we saw images of this shoe months and months back. It's the Nike Book 1 Moss Point. This pair is inspired by the Air Force 1 Low Moss Point PE that Devin Booker collaborated with Nike on back in May 2019, and it's a tribute to his high school, Moss Point High School. Now, the official colorway for this shoe is Barely Gray, Metallic Silver, Moon Particle, and Pale Ivory. They're expected to drop summer 2025, and the retail price will be $140. Now, this is a pair that I really like. In summer 2025, the Nike Book 1 1995 All-Star will be released. Now, originally, this was a PE for Devin Booker that he wore during the 2024 NBA All-Star Weekend. Now they're going to release, however, it isn't known if it'll feature his number 1 on the lateral side as well as 4 stars by the heel, but I really hope it does. And the official colorway is Wild Berry, Dusty Cactus, Bright Mandarin, and Black. So the overall look and inspiration comes from the Eastern Conference jerseys that were worn during the 1995 All-Star Game, which was held in Phoenix. So the pair features purple across the upper. We have 4 stars in orange on the lateral heel, and then his number 1 by the toe. The black swoosh is outlined in Dusty Cactus, which also hits the laces. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a specific release date, but summer 2025 is when they're expected to drop, and the retail price will be $150. Supreme and Nike are back for the fall 2024 season, and once again, they're going to connect on the Nike Air Force 1, but this time around, it'll be on the Air Force 1 Mid. So far, we have 2 colorways releasing, One will come in white, white, and white, and then the other will feature black, black, and black. Now, the images used are just mock-ups. We don't know how it's actually going to look. However, due to the colorway, I would suspect we received something similar to this. Also in the past, we saw the Supreme Nike Air Force 1 Low drop in a similar colorway and theme. And more than likely, you can expect the Supreme box logo in red on the lateral heel. Now, if you're interested in buying, we don't have a specific release date, but fall 2024 is when they're expected to drop. So it could be soon, and the retail price will be $133 each. As of late, I've been getting a lot of questions on the Nike Air Max Plus OG Hyper Blue. Now, when this information came out, the shoes were initially expected to debut in spring 2024, and I believe the news broke in late 2023. Now, I'm not positive on that. Now, spring 2024 is long gone. We're actually into fall 2024 releases as far as Nike and Jordan brand goes. And we still haven't seen the shoes. Now, this pair is an OG colorway, it's a popular one, and they last dropped in 2018. When the information initially came out, there wasn't a style code, a specific colorway, although it was expected to feature a similar one to the 2018 pair. So I did some asking around, and I did receive an answer. So these have actually been delayed. I'm not entirely sure why, but now they're going to debut spring 2025. So a whole year they've been delayed. I'm not entirely sure why. I know the Sunset pair recently returned. It seemed that a lot of people were excited about them, but pretty much everywhere I go, I see them sitting. Now, I don't think that will be the same situation for the Hyper Blue pair, but we'll have to wait and see. So with this spring 2025 release date, they're expected to release between January and March of 2025, and the retail price will be $180. This is a small update on the Nike Kobe 8 Pro Tro, What the Kobe. Now, a while ago, I talked about these shoes returning in summer 2025. At that time, we didn't know exactly when, and we still don't have the exact release date, but for now, we have a month. So this pair is expected to release in April 2025, which I believe the last several years we've seen Kobe's drop in April, multiple pairs. So they're definitely keeping with the theme. Now for this shoe, it's definitely special. This was the last Kobe 8 to release before they moved on to the Kobe 9, and it incorporates 30 different colorways of previous Kobe 8 releases. The first time they dropped was in December 2013. So 12 years later, they're going to return, and the retail price will be $190. A couple days ago, we received a first look at the Wizard of Oz Nike SB Dunk Low. Now, initially, these were expected to be inspired by Dorothy's ruby red slippers, but at least from the outside, it doesn't look like that's the case. However, the inspiration for this shoe comes from a scene in the film where Dorothy is laying in a field of poppy flowers, which you'll see in the background of these photos. Now, the specific colorway is Gym Red, Multicolor, and University Red. While not confirmed, the upper layer is expected to tear away and then showcase a different design. Now, that design could be inspired by her ruby red slippers. It just isn't known at this point. Of course, the shoes do have red detailing, and this is an official collaboration with the Wizard of Oz, which there's a special label on the tongue. Now, what's not shown in these images is Dorothy's catchphrase, "There's no place like home," which is said to be placed on the heels. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I wanted to like these very, very much, and to me, I think they look horrible. I just don't like them. Now, could the removable layer and whatever's underneath make them look better? I hope so, because I do enjoy going after SBs. They're just so difficult to obtain. And I love the themes and the collabs. They've all been really dope. It's just this pair, I'm not feeling it. I don't know what it is. I guess it's just the blotchy, poppy-filled layer on the upper. It just looks really chaotic. Maybe if they kept that print just on the panels in the toe box and then made the overlays red or even black, it would have looked a lot better, but that's just my opinion. Of course, let me know yours down below. Now, they are expected to debut during the holiday 2024 season, and the retail price will be $135. a couple days ago, there was a ton of announcements for release dates for a lot of summer 2025 releases. I believe there's also one for spring. So what I'm going to do is basically go over all of that. Now, not only do we have updates on release dates, but certain pairs we now know prices of. Also, I'm not going in order of release date. I just pretty much made this list of what I felt is the most anticipated versus the least, with the least going first. But maybe this pair should be a little bit higher on the list, and that is the Air Jordan 11 Low Igloo. Now, this is a women's exclusive release, and the photo used is just a mock-up. We don't know how it's actually going to look, but I suspect it'll look something similar to this, and the official colorway is white, and Igloo. Now, this pair is expected to debut on June 7th, and the retail price will be $190. Now we have several Air Jordan 1 Low OG releases, and the first pair of this group I'm going to talk about is the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Wash Teal. Again, this will be a women's exclusive release, and the image used is just a mock-up. We don't know how it's actually going to look, but they are expected to feature a larger swoosh, which is shown here. Now, for this pair, they are expected to debut on June 18th, and the retail price will be $140. Another Air Jordan 1 Low OG set to debut is known as Phantom. Again, this pair is a mock-up. We don't know how it's actually going to look, and the official colorway is Phantom, Chili Red, Moon Particle, Black, Muslin, and Coconut Milk. This is another pair that is expected to feature a larger swoosh, and they are expected to debut on April 26th. The retail price will be $140. The last Air Jordan 1 Low OG that has a release date is the Rust Pink pair. Now, this is accurate. So basically, it's a low top version of the Air Jordan 1 High OG Rust Pink that dropped back in 2017. This pair will also have a larger swoosh, like shown, and they will debut on May 31st. And the retail price will be $140. Although a lot of people were excited about this shoe, unfortunately, the image used is just a mock-up. We don't know how it's actually going to look. However, in 2025, the Air Jordan 4 Aluminum will debut. Now, this is a women's exclusive release, and the official colorway is white, aluminum, blue tint, and oil green. I wouldn't be mad if they dropped like this. I would definitely be picking up a pair. I think it looks clean. But we don't know as of yet, and they're currently scheduled to debut on May 3rd, and the retail price will be $215. The first collaboration to talk about in this video is the Trophy Room Air Jordan 6. Now, I have no idea what these are going to look like, and I'm sure they're going to have some sort of theme. I know Marcus Jordan was recently spotted doing some extracurricular activities. I don't necessarily want to say it because, YouTube's weird about that, but if you know, you know. And the specific colorway is white, crimson, black, and court purple. Now, since Marcus Jordan likes to connect things to his father, I have kind of an idea what these could be. Again, it's not confirmed, but it could be a tribute to Michael Jordan's first NBA championship, the white crimson being the Chicago Bulls, and then the black and court purple being for the Lakers, since the Bulls beat the Lakers in 91. That's just a theory of mine. I don't even know if that's true or not, but it would make sense. Now, this pair is expected to debut on June 13th, and currently we don't have a retail price. In April 2025, we have the return of the Air Jordan 12 Melo. Now, this pair isn't an official collaboration with Carmelo Anthony, but when they originally dropped in 2004, Carmelo Anthony was signed to Jordan Brand, he played for the Denver Nuggets, and the overall colorway matched their jerseys. He actually wore a PE version on court, and when they first dropped, they were a women's exclusive release. I do believe some people were upset. There was some backlash about that, and eventually they did drop in men's sizing. Now, in 2016, Jordan Brand released the University Blue Air Jordan 12, which was very similar to this pair, but the difference was on the eyelets. Now, for the OG Melo pair, they feature silver, but the 2016 pair had metallic gold, so it made it a different shoe. Although it looks similar, the blue actually popped a bit more. Now, the official colorway for this pair is white, university blue, and metallic silver, and they're currently expected to debut on April 5th, and the retail price will be $200. To be honest with you guys, I'm not a huge fan of the Air Jordan 11 Low. I like the Air Jordan 11 Low IE, but there's certain colorways of the Air Jordan 11 Low that I do like. This, of course, being one of them. I'm sure everybody likes them as well. It's the Air Jordan 11 Low Bred. Now, for those that don't know, the Air Jordan 11 Low was not an OG release. However, there were PE versions of the shoe made for Michael Jordan, which he wore during the 1996 NBA Finals. This being one of them. There was also another pair that featured red on the liner, and Jordan Brand would release that version of the shoe in 2015. Now, for 2025, 10 years later, the liner on that pair will be black, just like one of MJ's PEs. Now, recently, this pair did go up for auction, and they sold for about $44,000, so that's crazy. That's crazy money. But it's a dope piece of history. If you got it like that and can drop that type of money on some shoes, salutes to you. I definitely want to know what you're doing. But for those that want to grab the GR version, like myself, they drop on June 21st, and the retail price will be $190. So I know people are like half excited for this shoe. It's the return of the Air Jordan 10 still. Now, the reason I'm saying they're half excited is because, yeah, the Jordan 10 needs to return. It really hasn't in a while. And the reason why people aren't excited is that the original leather overlay on the toe cap is also returning with the shoes. Now, just to run back a little bit of history, this pair dropped back in 1994. Now, during that time, Jordan was off playing baseball. He was supposed to help tinker with the design of the shoe. He was late on it, and because of that, Tinker designed the shoes with this leather overlay piece on the toe, the added stitching. And when Michael Jordan found out, he was upset. He didn't like it. He told Tinker to change it, but at this time, the shoes were already in production. So the shoes eventually released, and I've heard different stories. I've heard that they eventually made another product run of the shoes without the extra piece on the toe cap. And I also heard another part is that they recalled the shoes. A lot of people who were buying the Jordan 10s back then informed me that they actually recalled them. Some people decided to send them back, others didn't. And that's the reason why they're bringing them back. But here's the issue with that. If Jordan didn't like them then, why bring them back now? It's just a question I have. But for me, I'd rather have it without the extra piece. I don't think it's needed. I think it looks a lot cleaner without it. But for those that plan on picking them up, they drop on May 24th, and currently no retail price. Also, on a side note, this isn't the only Air Jordan 10 dropping next year. I know I've been featuring the Undefeated Air Jordan 4 quite a bit lately, but there's been some additional updates on the shoe. So, the updates include a release date and the retail price. Now, if you missed my last video, just a quick update. This pair originally released in 2005 and was the first boutique to actually collaborate with Jordan Brand. Now, to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the shoes, they're going to return. Now, when they initially dropped, there was roughly 72 pairs. This time around, there's going to be a lot more. But you guys already know there's going to be hype, so they're not going to be easy to obtain, but a lot better than it was in 2005. Now, as for the release date of this pair, they are currently scheduled to debut on June 28th, and the retail price will be $225. So for the Air Jordan 4, for collaborations and OG colorways, it looks like they're going to bump up the price $10. This one being $225, and I will say, don't be surprised if we hear some additional updates on this pair very soon, because I'm hearing some stuff I can't say just yet. Believe me, I want to, but like always, stay tuned for those updates. So this is an extension from the Undefeated Air Jordan 4. We already knew the release date for the Air Jordan 4 White Cement. That is locked in for May 17th. I shouldn't say locked in because it's very possible that the release date could change, but we do know the retail price. So initially, everyone thought it was going to be $215. That is traditionally what Air Jordan 4s retail for, but in 2025, they're going to bump up that price. So for OG pairs, this one being one of them, they're going to retail for $225. Now, I know it's only $10, but that $10 increase is going to make Jordan Brand millions, and I can't be mad at it. Well, I guess I can be because I don't want to pay the extra 10, but this shoe is so dope that I'm willing to do it, and I'm still not going to complain about it. But just giving you guys the heads up. Now, they are expected to be closer to the OG. They will come with OG packaging, and they are expected to debut in full family sizing. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the retail price breakdown for the full family sizing, but just as a heads up, those are coming too. I know a lot of people are excited about this pair, and shout out to Ali because he comments about the Air Jordan 5 every video. He's a big fan of the shoes. He's been subscribed for years, so just wanted to give him a shout out. But we do have a release date for the Air Jordan 5 Grape, as well as a retail price, which seems a little bit low compared to some of the other retros. Again, I'm not complaining, it's just odd to me. Now, for those that don't know, 2025 celebrates the 35th anniversary of the Air Jordan 5. Also dropping is the Black Metallic Reimagined Air Jordan 5. That will debut in the spring, but for summer we have the Grapes, specifically in April. Now, they've also released a handful of times. They first dropped in 1990. We saw the first retro take place in 2006, which was part of Jordan Brand's lifestyle series. Along with the sneakers, there was matching apparel. We saw another retro take place in 2013, and then the last time they dropped was in 2018, but that pair didn't come with eyelets. They also celebrated Will Smith's 50th B-Day. Since this shoe is linked to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he was always wearing the Grapes as well as other Air Jordan 5 colorways. And for the 2025 release, they're going to shift them and make them closer to the OG. So they will have thinner padding on the ankle. I know a lot of newer retros, the padding is just very thick around the ankle. They're going to slim that down, which is a great thing. They're expected to do that as well on the Black Metallic Reimagined. Also, the pair will come with OG packaging. I'm sure a lot of you already expected that, and will debut in full family sizing. But for the release date, this pair is going to drop on April 19th. And the retail price will be $210. Now, I'm kind of surprised they're not $215, $220, or $225 because I know, and I'm sure you guys know, that Jordan Brand tries to squeeze every last dollar out of us, especially when it comes to an OG colorway and something popular. But at $210, I'm not complaining. Hopefully they stay there, and let me know if you plan on picking up a pair when they do drop. All right, so in one of my previous videos, I said that I've been hearing rumors about a Union LA Air Jordan collab coming in 2025. I wasn't sure which model it could be. I had a few ideas, and also there could be another one, but that isn't confirmed yet. And what is confirmed is that Union LA will do another collaboration on the Air Jordan 1 High OG. Now, their last collab, it was okay. It kind of grew on me, but it definitely didn't live up to their first collaborations, which was on a pair known as the Black Toe and Storm Blue. Basically, what they did is they switched some color blockings around using OG colorways. For example, the Black Toe pair had neutral gray on the ankle, and the other pair features Storm Blue for the base, and the ankle is taken from the Air Jordan 1 Bred. Both feature exposed stitching, and the overall look is kind of like a DIY reconstruction or even Frankenstein type shoe. The design was really dope. It combined two OG colorways into one, and moving forward for 2025, they are expected to do the same thing, but they're going to use two different OG shoes. Now, this part isn't confirmed, the specifics on the blocking, but what I've heard is that the base will come from the Chicago Air Jordan 1, and then the ankle will come from the Shadow Air Jordan 1. In my opinion, I think this is dope. I actually like them better than the other two. Hopefully they do wind up looking like this, but again, it's not 100% confirmed, but it's looking like it's going to be the case. Now, alongside the shoes, there's going to be matching apparel. So the collection will include shirts, track jackets, fleece hoodies, and track pants. And the retail prices for those range between $60 and $150. So some people are calling them the Union Air Jordan 1 High OG Chicago Shadow. But yeah, I'm excited for this pair, and they're expected to debut on February 12th, 2025, and the retail price will be $200. Now, February is definitely crazy. Just some releases off the top of my head. We have the Air Jordan 1 High 85 Bred. We have the Air Jordan 5 Black Metallic Reimagined. This shoe. We also have the Nike Air Foamposite 1 Galaxy. Jesus, there's just so much in February. Definitely won't be able to get them all. I mean, I'm going to try, but it's not going to be easy. And I'm sure I'm missing some shoes for February. So if you guys could think of something that I just went over my head, let me know down in the comment section below. As well, let me know your thoughts on this pair releasing in 2025. Alright, I'm not sure how long this part's going to be, but going to be a rant again. We're going to go over some somewhat fake news. It'll make more sense in a minute, but I'm sure a lot of you have seen that Nike Sneakers is supposed to do this big restock, including the Air Jordan 1 High OG Lost and Found, the Nike SB Air Jordan 4 Pine Green, Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Lows, and a bunch of other stuff. I've seen multiple videos of people talking about it, and what's probably worst about this whole thing is that I've seen publications writing about it, and we're going to go over all that now. So why am I talking about this? Well, it is fake news, half fake news. Is there a restock? Yes, but it has nothing to do with Nike sneakers. It has nothing to do with the Snkrs app at all. It's actually a third party. It's a different website. You have to sign up, you have to join their Discord and pay a membership in order to partake in this restock. Yes, the shoes are for retail, but my problem with this is that all of these people are talking about it as if Nike is actually doing this restock. Now, Sneakers Day is a thing. Traditionally, it's held in the EU, but last year they did have one which took place on September 9th, and it was global. However, the releases that were available weren't that great. Now, a lot of people just ran with this whole thing, and here's a short clip.
If this is true, Nike are going to break the internet. So
Now, I didn't play the full clip, but the reason I'm showing this is because they talked about this as being part of Nike sneakers, and the only connection it has to Nike is that they're Nike shoes. Also, this guy has over 12,000 likes and over 300,000 views, and most of the people have no idea. And you can even do a search on YouTube and see a bunch of YouTubers are talking about it. And I did watch a good amount of videos, and I gotta take my hat off to DaVintage. He did a good job. He actually spotted that it had nothing to do with Nike sneakers, and he talked about it. Now, what is worse than all this? Because at the end of the day, I understand the YouTubers, the IG pages, they're trying just to get their clicks up. They're doing half research, and I guess they're partially right because it is a restock, but again, it has nothing to do with Nike sneakers, and you technically have to pay in order to be able to take part in this. But the worst part of this is Highsnobiety and GQ magazine, because both of them wrote articles about this restock, and all of it points to Nike sneakers. But I do have a small issue with them, and that is due to the fact that whenever I leak something and they write about it, they never give me credit at all, and I can email them, and sometimes GQ magazine does give credit, sometimes, but Highsnobiety gives zero. They don't even respond to the emails when I ask, and again, I don't like to talk about that publicly, but I feel like I needed to say that just because, you know, I'm going to kind of go in on them a little bit. But both of these websites are supposed to be by journalists. Well, for Highsnobiety, the title is Everything Sneakerheads Must Know for Nike Sneakers Day 2024. Now, I'm not going to read their whole article, but I will read a few snippets and include screenshots just to let you know that, hey, they fully thought that this was a Nike event. So this paragraph, for 2024, the annual swoosh holiday is expected to return on its normal day, August 8th. 2023's Sneakers Day festivities went down on September 9th and granted all global Nike members access to the It's Drops and activations. I think they kind of messed up there on the writing. Now, they also include a screenshot from an individual who has been reporting on this quite a bit and made no mention about it being with Stash Sneakers, that's who's actually having this whole restock, and it's to promote their Discord. And there's no hate to them. Like, this is what they're doing. This is their business plan. It's just that people who are reporting on it and talking about it should inform everybody that this has nothing to do with Nike and that you actually have to pay to be part of it. And lower in the article, there's a question. It says, do you need tickets to Nike Sneakers Day? They write, no, you do not need tickets for Nike Sneakers Day, just the Sneakers app with the notifications turned on and those speedy typing fingers. Again, has nothing to do with Nike sneakers. So I don't even think Stash Sneakers has an app. But just by them calling it Nike Sneakers Day tells you that they truly believe it's part of Nike. One more thing from High Snobiety before I move on to GQ. There's a question. What's releasing and restocking on Nike Sneakers Day 2024? It reads, Nike has yet to reveal its Sneakers Day 2024 lineup and probably won't announce further details until the actual holiday. It's a secret. Shh, it's really not a secret. However, there are several sneakers rumored to return on Sneakers Day, including Travis Scott's Jumpman Jack sneaker, Travis Scott's Jordan 1 Low, Cortez's Nike Air Max 95, Air Jordan 1 Chicago Reimagined, Trophy Room Air Jordan 1 Low, so on and so on. Basically, it's all of the shoes that are posted on Stash Sneakers promo for their restock. Now, let's move on to GQ. We've all heard of the magazine. It's been around for a while. I'm not sure when they started to actually cover sneakers. I know it was more of a fashion magazine, like dress shoes. But the title of their article is A Non-Sneakerhead's Guide to Nike Sneakers Day 2024. And I know this writer that wrote the article used to work for another website, so he's not technically new to the sneaker scene. Again, through the article, they're promoting shoes that are on Stash Sneakers, promo images, but the opening paragraph reads, alongside Air Max Day, Nike's annual Sneakers Day is one of the biggest made-up holidays in the entire trainer calendar. Since 2017, Sneakers Day has been an event that celebrates the American sportswear company's Sneakers app, where all of the biggest drops and restocks come through. So right there, they believe that it's part of the Nike Sneakers app. Now, when you get a little bit further down in their article, it reads, as usual, Nike has been quite tight-lipped about which shoes we should look forward to, but the latest reports are suggesting that mega hype pairs like the Air Jordan 1 High OG Lost and Found, the Nike SB Air Jordan 4 Pine Green will finally be making a comeback. Rumor has it that the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low OG Canary collab could also be re-releasing. Huge if true. Now, the reason why they're tight-lipped about it is because it's not true. Again, if they did their journalistic responsibilities, they would have known that. Now, since I did mention, yes, I do have an issue with these two publications because, again, they don't credit me. No, I wasn't waiting, or this isn't the reason why I wanted to talk about it. I actually fully intended to talk about it in today's video before knowing GQ and High Snobiety even talked about them. But going down a rabbit hole, looking up videos, watching some, and then, of course, going to Google and then searching to see what people are saying, I come across these two publications. Now, there are a few other ones, but these are the two biggest ones that I wanted to address. Now, the worst part about this is that this whole release with Stash Sneakers took place today, and nowhere on their article, at least at the time I'm recording this, did they give an update saying, hey, this isn't true, this is actually has to do with Stash Sneakers and not Nike sneakers, or they didn't even take the article down, so people are still believing and probably waiting today or waited this morning for this release to happen. Now, the reason also I decided to talk about it today is because the restock already went down. I really didn't want to fuel the publicity for this any more than it already has. Nothing against them. It's just that a lot of people have misled the public. Not so much Stash Sneakers, because they didn't really tie anything to Nike other than the shoes that they're offering. Yeah, you can make an argument that the way they spelled sneakers, but it is just an abbreviation and a lot of people do it. So it's nothing against them, but just to run it back to them, if you wanted to take part in this, you would have to pay at minimum $33, and that is a monthly subscription. And then on top of that, we don't know how many pairs they're releasing. At least with Nike Sneakers app, you know, there's going to be a decent amount, or at least you expect that there's going to be a decent amount. But from reading what they have, there's like 3 ways to obtain the shoes. So at minimum, there's 3 pairs. Again, they're not a store. I don't know how they get their pairs or anything like that. I'm not suggesting that they get fakes, but what I am suggesting is I don't expect them to have a large stock of this. Now, if you're going to take part in that, or you did take part in that, that's cool. That's fine. I have nothing against that at all in what they're doing over there. Shout out to them. I don't know them personally by any means. And everybody could have talked about this restock and just said, hey, this has nothing to do with Nike sneakers. But this is a different website. It's Stash Sneakers. They're doing a restock where people who sign up and let them know that you got to pay for the chance to purchase at retail. I guess I'm really shocked because I saw so many Instagram pages and YouTube videos, people talking about this restock and like it was part of Nike. And on top of that, what's crazy is some of these videos, like they have crazy amount of views. So, you know, a ton of people saw it. And when I did look at the comments, most of the people had no idea that it was outside of Nike sneakers. It has nothing to do with them. So it does suck. And, you know, all the people that I featured in here, I don't have any problems with except what I stated about GQ and High Snob. But they could change that. They could start giving credit to myself and Z Sneakerhead Z and the other people who I collaborate with to leak this news, because I know I would appreciate it. Now, is there going to be a Nike Sneakers Day? More than likely. And to be honest, if there's a Nike Sneakers Day, I wouldn't expect any type of releases like this. It's probably going to be some decent stuff, but nothing crazy. But you might be able to grab something that you missed out on for retail, so that's always a plus. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Speaking of new videos, I did release a short of the Nike KD 4 Nerf. I did it at a random time. Probably wasn't a good idea because, according to the views, nobody saw it. But if you're curious, you want to check it out, there will be a link in the description below, and I would appreciate if you did, dropped a like on it as well. Now, I'm probably going to drop one more short this week. I have quite a few shoes that I need to record for shorts for next week, so you can expect more as well. We're going to have some more news videos like always. And just to talk about the whole fake news thing, I'm glad you guys, gave me the feedback that you did. A lot of you guys do appreciate, when I talk about this stuff, because a lot of stuff is misleading on the internet. We all know that, and especially in the sneaker atmosphere, if you have a little bit of a following, people tend to believe it, and then it spreads like crazy. So, yeah, I don't like to be negative and go at people and stuff like that, so I'm trying not to do that and trying to be respectful of everybody. But at the same time, I also have an obligation to you guys, especially when you're asking me questions about stuff. Yeah, I could easily just respond to it saying, no, it's not true. But I'm getting quite a bit of messages on some of this stuff that I've been covering. So that means if, you guys are curious about it, that means that more people are that aren't hitting me up. So yeah, like I talked to some good friends who are also, in the sneaker community. They have a big following. They don't post fake information, and they said I should do it. I asked you guys if I should do it, and you guys are like, yeah, we would appreciate it. So going forward, that's what I'm going to do. So I hope you do like it. If you have any critiques or questions about it, like always, you could just drop them below. Now for this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down in the comment section below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave that down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.